famous on TikTok, we all get a share in the profits, right? All right. Everybody jamming out to some disco there. I remember when that stuff came out and was live on the radio. How about that? And here you thought I was 21, right? Everyone who agrees passes, everyone who doesn't fails, right? I was times 21, right? Yeah, Aisha's got it. There you go. All right. So let me tell you, campus for campus, Fort Myers is the campus to be watching out for. They are the ones that are coming in hot and heavy as far as everyone is concerned. Overall, class is doing incredible, though. I want to give out kudos. Let me tell you, y'all are just impressive. And so this is true story. Going through school, I thought I had it rough. I worked at Denny's and Walmart, and I slept in my car in between classes. That's what I literally had to do when I was going to school. And I think you all have a lot worse schedules than any I have seen. You all are going around tossing and juggling like some sort of circus act. It is amazing what y'all do on a given day. It is just incredible what y'all have to go through. So give yourselves a pat on the back with everything that you juggle to make it to classes, get through just an ordinary day, because that is actually incredible. So I went through your comments. I actually read everything you put into this class. Just so you know, you're not just out going through there and you're getting blind scores. I'm going through and I read every single comment, because why would I ask you to do something and not pay attention? Your words are important. Your expressions are important. You have value, a lot of value in this class, and you need to know that. So I'm actually going through, and your answers to what happens with those social media accounts, this online thing, so much of it is true. Just know when you go to apply for a job, they're going to search for you online. They absolutely 100%. They are going to Google your name and look for you online. Some of them actually hire companies to hunt down to see exactly what they can find out. And it's important to be online, because if you're not online at all, you're irrelevant. You're not keeping up with your career. You don't know what's going on out there. So why are they interested in you at all? How many of you thought about that? If you're not online, they think you're not keeping up with what's happening in your career. Has anybody thought about that? So not being online is worse than having a bad online presence. You will lose out on jobs if you're absolutely not online. It's a shame we do not have a choice in that anymore. You have to be out there in some shape or form. We're obligated, and even if we don't want to, we have to have some sort of presence to show that we are relevant. So that's become a bit of an issue, because there are people who legitimately don't want to be there. I have had students that, because of what they did in military installations, they need to have a very, very limited presence out there. That's a safety issue. And so that is a completely different situation. All right. So we're going to get started here. How many like that? We get started quicker, we finish quicker. That's a whoop whoop. Everybody likes that, right? Yeah. We all like that. Nobody likes to just sit around and, as much as y'all admire me, I think of you as my fan club. You want me to get the ball rolling. So I will do that for you. So we're going to start off with our favorite screen shares. Here we go. We are in career prep, and I'm going to make this look like a student screen. There we go. All right. So make this a little bit bigger here for y'all so you get more screen space.
Hey, Ron, this is Bruce.
Yes.
Kyle Curtis is. He said he got a message that you have to admit him into the stream, I guess. So
Okay, I did not see a message here. I'm looking. Hold on one second. Let me see if I have something saying that somebody needs to be admitted. I did not have anybody waiting here. I am looking. I don't have anybody waiting to get in.
all right, I'll have him restart everything and try to go a different route. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, make sure that he's actually going into the same one. If he's connecting in via phone and not going into the class first, security might not let him through. He needs to go in through the class.
Understood.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. All right, so here we go. And we are in week one. Maybe we're in week one. There we go. All right. So we finished Monday. Almost everybody did both posts in the discussion. I've gone through and I've graded that. If you see a 60 instead of 100 in there, what that means is you still have one more post to do. Go in there, make that post by Sunday, and I'll get an update message so that I can do that. Now, I've had a couple of people that got confused on the live conference, and they thought that it went in the discussion. No, today make sure when you get the question, you come into this live conference participation assignment, click start, text entry, type in your response from the live conference or what you get from the recording. And then once you do that, you will click submit assignment. That is a requirement for attendance. If you don't do that, it doesn't matter how many assignments you do, or if you're in this live session without that, I cannot give you attendance, okay? So everybody, please make sure you do that or you will not get attendance. At 6 o'clock, that cuts off and you will not be able to submit that. And I cannot take late emails, text messages with the response. I have requirements. I have to turn that attendance in. So please, I want everybody to get the credit where they are due. So yesterday I asked people, do we like ourselves? And I hope some people, if they didn't like themselves yesterday, you made up with yourself and you like yourself today. So how many people like themselves today? Yes, we all like ourselves. Yes, I hope. Yeah, we do. So we're going to find out a little bit about ourselves. We're going to take a personality test. Has anybody ever taken a personality test? It's not to find out if you have one, it's to find out your type. This is becoming very, very popular, especially in careers like electrical, HVAC, even the veterinary areas and that. The reason being, all these groups, they work in teams, okay? Not as in our live class here, but you're going to be working with different people. And since you're going to be starting a job, they don't quite know exactly where you might fit in best. So they're going to have you take a personality test, also called a Myers-Briggs personality test. And what it's going to do is it's going to ask you questions. Some are very similar. And so I want you to answer the questions honestly. Don't try to figure out what it's doing. And it's amazing how accurate when you finish that you might think this is. Now, sometimes it doesn't get it. Sometimes it comes extremely close. But the idea is to see what happens. So please go through here and answer them as closely as you can to being accurate. So you're going to click on the personality test. It's going to open up this, and you're not going to log in or anything. You're going to go take the test, and you're going to answer these questions. It's all the way from agree to disagree and anywhere in between. And so you're going to just click on these things as you go along, and you're going to keep going until you get to the end. And when you get to the end, it's going to tell you what type you are, and then you're going to bring that information back to this assignment. So I want to know what type you were and if you see them as accurate. So that's what I need to know. What type did it define you as, and did you see it as accurate? Why did you see it as accurate? So not just the type and yes, it was accurate. Go a little bit further than that, okay? Why did you think it was accurate? Or why didn't you see it as accurate? Maybe it didn't come through as accurate as possible. So what the employers are doing is they're trying to say, okay, based on what we see, we're going to start you on this team. Now, that doesn't mean that's where you're always going to be, but it gives them a place to put you to begin with. Does everybody see the logistics behind why companies are doing this? Because they want to build solid teams, but they need a place to start. All right? That's why they're doing this. And this is becoming extremely popular. They need to know before they send you out in that van where you might fit best. Or if you're working with dangerous animals, which group of people is best for you to start training with. And then if that looks like you might fit better, then they're going to move you. But they need a starting place. So these Myers-Briggs tests, these are extremely popular. They've been around forever, and the results are typically in the high 90% as far as accuracy is concerned. So let's see what happens with you. So that's what you're going to do. And then the other one is this career plan. So with the career plan, one of the very first things you need to know, is it doable? And yes, it is. So we need to start with long-term plans. How many people are planners out there? You plan things out to reach goals. Any of my planners out there? Okay, we got planners. How many people are not planners? They like to fly by the seat of their pants, and wherever I land, that's where I'm going. Okay, you got people like that as well. So people who are more successful are the ones who plan. And the reason being is you have something in mind so you can set a path to it. Okay, that doesn't mean that it is so rigid you can't make changes. It should be flexible. No matter what you plan or how you set things up, you need to allow for modifications. Okay, it's like a tree. If a tree can't bend in the wind, it's going to snap, break, and fall. Okay, your plan needs to be a little flexible. So we're going to start off, and the way you start a plan for your career is you think about your long-term goals. These are things that are going to be further in and down the horizon, typically a year or so in the future. Okay, so some of the goals, what career do you actually want? Now, you're here for a career, but what is your end goal? Where in that career do you want to be? Education, steps you need to get there. What other information? Now, other goals you may have. You may want to buy a house. You may want to start your own business. You may want to be in another state working. Think about what that goal is, because there's going to be a part 2 to this plan, and in part 2 you're going to put short-term goals that are going to get you there. Okay, everybody following this? So we're working with the long-term goals, and you want to set long-range goals that you're going to add to this in part 2. So there's a video here that you can click on, and it will take you to this YouTube video that you'll have to most likely watch a commercial. But after that, it tells you about long and short-term goals. It's really a decent video, so please watch it. And then for today, this is all you're doing. You're not giving me a detailed plan. Okay, very specifically, you're going to list at least 2 long-term goals. Okay, the more you add, the easier it gets for later in the class, okay? So today, at least 2 long-term goals. And be very specific because we're used to talking in generals. I want to have a good career is not a long-term goal. Saying I want to be a supervisor in a welding department, that's more of a long-term goal. You're narrowing it down to what you want. Okay? So be very specific in describing this goal because when you do part two, you're going to have to list what it's going to take to get there. Okay? So what you'll do is when you're ready, you're going to come up here, you're going to say start assignment, text entry, list goal number 1, then goal number 2. Okay, that's it. Don't give the detail. And remember what you put down, write it down somewhere or whatever, because in week 3, you're going to have to remember what those are so we can do the second part to this. Okay, so nice and short there. Not a lot that you have to do with that. And that's what we're doing for today. Okay, so those are the assignments. Now we're ready to roll on to the show. All right, so let me get this set up here. And we'll get this going to the right screens.
Hey, excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. This is Chase. I was wondering, the discussion, the goals, they have to do with this particular career field.
Okay, so this is your actual life. This is your goals. So
Okay.
this course is all about you. So what are your actual goals? So what
Okay.
are you looking for? You know, like I said, some people will put down they want to buy a house. Some people want to move to another state to begin their career. Okay, if you want to move to another state, that's your long-term goal. Then when we come back in week 3, to move, you're going to have funding to be able to get a moving van and this and that. You're going to put those short-term goals that will get you to where you want. So that's the purpose of this, to get you used to planning. If you're looking for a particular position in a company, that's your long-term goal. Okay, to get there, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to apply. You're going to have to get that job. You're going to have this many months experience, etc. Okay, does that
Okay.
help define it? Okay,
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and get this going here. I'm working with the screen that's covering this up here. All right, let's see if that's gonna work. Yay, it's working. Okay, so we're going to be talking about preparing for your career, which sounds a little interesting. Isn't that what everything's about? And so we're going to talk about career preparation and the purpose of a plan, because some people are like, okay, I get it. I want this, I want this. But one of the things we need to do is we need to do a self-assessment. We need to know about us before we can actually go forward. And then we're going to talk about our skills because believe it or not, people don't realize how important those skills are that we actually even know what we have. And we're going to talk about SMART goals versus regular goals, pathing, and our portfolio. So it's a little bit that we're going to have here. But one of the things is everybody's career preparation is different. It's not one size fits all. And the big difference now is many people are going to be going from a job to a career, whereas a job was something you did just for money. Careers are more involved than that. And you're not short-term working for money. Career is something that's going to give you money. It's going to give you fulfillment. It's going to give you growth. So I tell people, I hope you didn't pick your career just based on money, because money doesn't give you the happiness and the fulfillment. Pick a career that gives you the happiness and fulfillment. The money comes after and it stays with you. But if you go with money first, you're never going to be happy, and you're going to be job hopping. You're going to be career hopping, and it's never going to fall in line. Choose it the other way, and everything else comes with it. Okay? The money follows everything else. Okay? You will get the money if you choose what will make you truly happy. And then there's what are called career pathways. And people don't necessarily know what a career pathway is, but they actually break things down into broad categories, and it's based on specific careers or skills and competencies. And there's 16 careers. Believe it or not, everything breaks down into 16 different careers. And then we have what we call emerging occupations, okay? So now an emerging occupation isn't necessarily brand new, but it's one that's changing drastically, okay? Electrical is one of those that things are changing drastically in. Before, it's just simple wiring in a house. Now everything's becoming, smart switches, and we have to have smart houses and things like that. And refrigerants and things like that are now tying into that. So HVAC and electrical are becoming very intermingled. So that's an emerging occupation out of what used to be a legacy occupation. And then we have these two wonderful organizations, ONET and the Department of Labor. Now, different federal areas are being hit hard, but these are still there. Okay, so Occupational Informational Network, they'll give you descriptions of in-demand industry. So these are the ones that are coming up, and they're the ones that are most in demand. But the other one, the Department of Labor, so it's going to tell you about your career and what those hourly standards for wages are. How many people know what your wage should be in your career? If you know what your wage should be when you start out, because some people don't, and that's okay. Yeah, see, a lot of people don't know what they should be making. So you're going to go out there and you're going to apply for a job, and they're going to offer you money, and you're going to go, uh-huh. But when you apply for a job in a career field, you can be working side by side, and the person's doing the same work, and they could be making $5 to $10 hour or more an hour than you. And you can't complain because you didn't negotiate correctly. That's on you. If you don't know what you should be making, you're going to be ripped off. Boom. That's on you. They are going to try to get you for the lowest possible wage. You need to know what you should be working for, how much you're worth. All right. This can tell you that. And they'll also tell you safety things that should be in place to make sure that you're not in a dangerous situation. So now today we're starting on that career plan with that long-term goal. And this is where you are today and where you'd like to be. Okay, so we're working on the where you'd like to be. And those things that you're putting on there, those are called action items, okay? And that's important because these are things that you're going to do. So we're setting your goal, and then we're going to put action items under it. How to reach that goal. And what we're going to need to know is about you, self-assessment and a skills assessment, okay? So this is what your plan is going to look like. We're going to set the long-term goals today, and then we're going to have the short-term goals with SMART goals. So a short-term goal is
Excuse me? I think you're muted.
Okay, that better?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. I thought I saw the thing go off there. Okay, thank you. So let me back up here. So the difference between the SMART goal and the short-term goal is the SMART goal is going to add a time frame to it. So it'll say basically the same thing the short-term goal is, and you can use them interchangeably, but it's going to say a time frame that you're actually doing this in. Okay, so we need to have kind of a self-assessment. That's like a self-check. And we need to know about uh, our actions and our attitudes, okay? And how that's going to relate. And so we're going to talk about aptitudes, abilities, personalities, and our values. Because we hear all these terms, but we don't really know what they mean. So an aptitude, okay? And these are all midterm type questions here. So an aptitude, these are your natural abilities, okay? These are things you can do naturally. You didn't have to pick this up, you just know these things, okay? And some of them are mental and some of them are physical. Now, if it's mental, it's called cognitive. And how I remember that is think of the gears turning inside someone's brain like a cog in an engine, like little gears. So cognitive means mental, all right? And that's how I remember that. But someone can have natural physical abilities. So they can have an aptitude for a physical trait. They could be stronger than other people. That is natural and you can't change that. Okay? And businesses will give an aptitude test. They want to know what you naturally know. And you can't change those things. Now, an ability is how much of that you have. That's your capacity. So your aptitude are things that you are born with, and your ability is how much of that you have. Okay? Now, a skill is something we can learn, and it gets better over time. So that's the difference between an aptitude and a skill. Aptitude you're born with. Skills we can all learn and develop. All of them are limited by our abilities. Has everybody got that? Aptitude born with, skills we learn, they're all limited by abilities. Okay? And those things are listed in job listings, and we need to be able to pick those out. Now, how many people like your personalities? We all do. Now, those are what govern our attitudes, our values, and our work habits. Okay? Our loyalty and our motivations. How many people have attitude out there? Okay? I live down in the 954 area, Miami, home of attitude. It's like, anybody ever been down to Miami? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, no, you didn't. You'd not be talking to me like that. You'd be coming in here giving me all kinds of attitude when I know you shouldn't be doing that to me. Yeah, you've been to Miami. You know Miami. Miami's a whole different attitude, language. That's why they put it down there. They say, we're sealing this section off. Yeah, you go down to Calle Ocho and Versailles, get ready. Attitude is thicker than humidity in Florida. So our personality, that is our attitude, our values, everything all rolled up into one. And we have to learn how to control that. So this is that Myers-Briggs type indicator. That's that personality test that we are doing. So our values, how many people say, well, my values are this, my values are that? But do we really know what we're talking about? That's your principles and beliefs that you think are important. Okay, you can't tell somebody what their values are. Okay, our values are our beliefs and what we consider important. And that's an important thing to bring to the work environment because we have to learn to separate our values from the workplace values. So you want to find a place that coincides and links up with your values. Don't go to work somewhere where you know there's going to be a constant conflict between your values and the workplace values. Okay? Now, we have skills and they're broken into two different kinds. Okay, soft skills. These are called transferable skills. Oops, my iPad's moving on me. Transferable. Okay. Reason why they're called transferable is because you use these skills in almost every job. Okay. These are your people skills, how to solve conflicts, how to solve solutions, find solutions. These are all those types of skills associated that can be moved from one to the other. How to get along with your coworkers, teamwork, things like that. All those different type of skills, your computer skills, those are soft skills because they can be used in multiple careers. Your hard skills here, these are the ones you're learning in the labs. These are the ones you're learning in the shops. These are unique unto your actual career. Okay, things an electrician learns may not be something a vet assistant learns. Okay, typically an electrician does not need to know how to do a restraint on something. Unless they have an unruly client, then they may need to know how to do that. But those are unique to that career field. Those are called hard skills. How many people know what their hard skills are and how many people know what their soft skills are as well? Do you know what your skills are? Because you're going to need them for your resumes. You need to know what you can and can't do. Okay? Know your abilities and your skills. So here's some skills that you might not realize are actually skills under soft skills. Active listening. Okay? Not just sounds coming in, you're actually picking up. You should be doing active listening now. You should be paying attention. If you're counting ceiling tiles, spinning around, playing with your phone and not paying attention, you're missing out. You're not getting the full picture. Effective communication, speaking out, being able to write effectively. We don't write in text form. We actually have to be able to do uppercase, lowercase, spell correctly, etc. Flexibility. That ain't my job. How many people hear that on a daily? That ain't my job. I ain't doing that. Yeah. Nope. Taking initiative. You see something, you do something. Your integrity, your motivation, your patience, your problem solving, confidence. How many people need to work on their confidence? This is a big one. If you know what you know and know what you don't know, you can be confident. One of the biggest things is being able to tell someone, I'm sorry, I don't know that, but if you show me, then I will learn it and I will have it forever, type thing. Let them know, I don't know it now, but please show me how to do that. You can admit you don't know something. That doesn't mean you're dumb. That doesn't mean you're stupid. That doesn't mean you can't learn. That means you haven't been taught yet. Show me what to do so I'll do it next time. Okay? Learn to say, I don't know something. It is okay. That's why they asked you, do you know how to do this? They asked you because they want to show you if you don't. And if you say yes and you don't, that's when there's a problem, okay? Teamwork and time management. Time management will get so many people kicked out of a job. Okay, taking on too much. If someone says, can you do this? Say, I can do that if you do this. Okay, did everybody see that? I can do that if you do this. You are not a dumping ground. Okay? How many people have ever had somebody walk up to you and hand you something and say, will you take a look at this? How many people have had that happen? Okay? I learned this from an incredible woman. She was one of the first IT directors, female IT directors that worked for Southern Bell, which became AT&T eventually, blah, blah, blah. She said, when somebody comes up and with a piece of paper and say, look at this, take both hands, put them behind your back and look at it. Do not take that piece of paper, because if you take that piece of paper, it is yours, and now you're responsible for it. Look at it and go, you're correct. Yes, very good. Do not take that piece of paper. Do not take ownership. It becomes your problem. Do you understand how easy that was? That person still has the paper. They still have ownership. It's still their problem. You looked at it. Do not touch it. It's not yours. Okay? It is a foreign body. It is not for your touching. Okay? That single step alone has saved me tons of work, because I guarantee you that person's going to do a dump and run on you. Very simple, very effective. Know how much you can handle and know when to say no. All right? Everybody got that? You can say no. It's not a very big word, but it's a very hard word to use, because we're afraid to disappoint. We're afraid of retaliation. So try swapping those assignments with people. I can do that, but you'll need to do this. It'll also lower the amount of times people will come up to you and try to dump their work on you. Okay? Got a lot of experience here. I know you think I'm incredibly young, but I am over 25, I'll confess. All right? Okay, hard skills. These are the things that you actually do. You can TIG weld, you can do MIG, you can do, overhead this, you can do that, you can run a centrifuge, you can do animal restraints, you can do three-way switches, you can do installation of HVAC systems, you can do refrigeration. List all your skills in detail and separately, because skills equal money. Here they just say welding. Okay? Welding. What's that mean? Welding. I don't know. I'm going to look at that and I'm going to bypass that if I see just welding on a resume, because I supposed to guess what kind of welding? Give me details. You don't give me details, I'm not going to work for it. Okay? So technology skills and technology assessments. This one's fun, because I can tell who Googles the answers on midterm, because you get the wrong answer. Okay? So when you do a technology skills assessment, this is what they're asking for. What technology can you use? Okay? Now on the midterm, you know how I know when somebody gets it wrong? They're going to come back and they're going to type in this long answer about it's a study so that you can evaluate and see what kind of technology is needed to be used. No, it's not a study. They're just wanting to know what you can use. Everybody got that? Yes, yes. Let's see those emojis. Everybody's got that. All right. Very simple. They just want to know what you know. Now, these are the SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay? So, basically, in a nutshell, you can read each one of these, but what it does is it takes your goal and it makes sure that it's doable, and it puts some measurements on it. When are you going to do this? Otherwise, you have this plan, but when are you going to do it? How many people are lazy and procrastinate? You put things off. Yeah. So by putting timelines on your goals and making them a SMART goal, you're kind of patrolling and keeping yourself under control. I don't know why this slide's in here twice, but it was. Okay, now how many people have heard they're climbing the career ladder? Up the ladder. Everybody's going up this ladder. Okay, so we've heard this. This is how it got its term. Okay, you're going up, boom, 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 kind of like a ladder. Okay, so you have different levels. Okay, now I suggest you have that little help guide open when you get to these questions, if they pop up on your midterm, because they can be confusing. So entry level, this is where you start out, okay? Almost no experience. Career level, you have preparation skills. That means you come out of a school like this. Your career level, you are not entry level, you're career level. You have some experience in what you do, even though it's been in the classroom. You may have even had externship, okay? Specialist level, you've been out there for at least a few years. You've got real world experience. And then specialist, you've been out there and now you've gained even more experience. You're getting more money, etc. And you're starting to move up. You're being recognized. And then supervisory, same thing as a specialist, but now you have people under you. So these two here, the right here, they have basically the same skills. One's just managing. And then the executive, you have everything supposedly that the other people have. And now you can organize a corporation or company. So this adds organization to it. That's what's the difference between this one, is you can organize the groups together. But more companies are going to what we call the lattice. How many have ever been told you've reached the top of your pay level for this title? You can't go up any higher. You can't go any higher in this category. And so this has happened to people I know. You cannot go up any higher. We won't pay any higher for this pay level, etc. So that happens with the ladder. You can only go up. Here, you have a choice. You can go across or you can go up. Okay? Now here, once I'm in this position, I got a choice. I could actually go here or I could go here. I've got multiple choices, okay? This one here, I could go essentially to this one or to this one. This one, I could actually go here or here. You're not stuck going just up. You can go to another department and then go up. You're not happy where you're working, go to the next department at the same pay level and then move up. Lattices allow you the opportunity to move left and right and up, not just up. So you're not stuck in a position where you can't go anywhere. A much better place to work, and it gives you more time to do and grow. Okay, so now portfolios. This is where you put everything you need to take into that important interview. That's going to be your resume. It's going to be your references. It's going to be everything that you need. And even if you have it online, take printed copies with you when you go into that interview. Never staple them. Never put them in a binder. Hold them together with a paper clip. Make sure you have multiple copies because you may be interviewing with more than one person or more than one person at a time. All right? So be prepared at all times. So you're going to see once you have that resume, those references, and you're putting them together, you're going to have a career persona. You're going to see, this is me. This is me, the professional. And it's kind of an an interesting thing because when you look at that and you have somebody else look at that, they're going to see an impressive person. And I want you to take a look at it and realize that is you. You are an impressive professional, okay? And you're going to see how others see you when you see it in the printed form. Look at your skills. Look at your work history if you have it. Look at your school. These are your accomplishments. You have done something. And that should be a wake-up call, a realization that you are going places. You have done things and you're already impressive at what you do. So you're starting to see yourself transition and become what you've been working for. Okay? And it is influenced by your skills, your knowledge, and everything. And you're getting now what we call a professional identity. And your reputation is starting to build. We all know reputations, but this is a professional reputation. And no matter how big you think your career field is, your reputation will start to get places before you are ever introduced. You're probably already seeing it at school now. How many people know certain individuals do great work as soon as you hear their name? You know, oh, that person's really good at this. How many people know it? You've heard their name. Oh, I heard they're really good at this or they're good at that. I know they're good at welding. I know they're good at animal restraints. I know they're good at this. You see it every day in the classrooms. You know which students are better performers than others. That's called their professional reputation. And you're going to build a brand. And we're going to talk about that in future classes here. You are your own brand and you're your own company. And your reputation needs to be protected. And this is starting the beginning of that. All right. So we touched on hard skills and soft skills. Everybody understand the difference between those? Yes, yes? Okay. Your hard skills, those are the ones unique to your career. Your soft skills, those are your transferable skills that you can use anywhere. Okay, if not, make sure you've registered your book, open it, look those up, because today's question, I want you to list your top 3 hard skills. These are the ones unique to your career, and your top 3 soft skills. And these are the ones transferable to most careers. I don't want you to list just the ones for your career. These are the ones you have. Okay, I don't want you to Google which ones you should have. I want you to list the ones you actually have. Okay, this class is about you, not the research you can do on just anybody. All right, I want to know what yours are. Okay, any questions? Nope, we're good.
The question you just asked about the top 3
Yes,
hard and soft skills, that's for the question
participate.
for this, right?
Yes, that's for the participation. So go to that Tuesday participation assignment, and that's where you put your answer in for the attendance today.
Okay,
All
thank
right. You're welcome. Any other questions? No? All right, so get that response in by 6 o'clock for the attendance, and we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.